Mr. Dudley, thank you so much. I know that Dr. Ray set all this up. He's in everything, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just in everything. But I didn't know that we was gonna be here today. I didn't know that until he came and got us and brought us down here. What an awesome opportunity it is to be able to sit to the right of you and just. I first have to say thank you. Thank you, man, for thank you for not stopping. You don't have to tell us all the low points that you've had, because we know you've had them. But for you to be here, we know that you pushed yourself to get right here. And I'm gonna tell you, I've had some low points in my life, but I'm sure nothing can compare to what the things that you had to go through back then, just to get to where you're at today. Mr. Dudley, we just really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you've done. Thank you so much for what you're doing. There are individuals, Mr. Dudley, that you don't even know that you touched. You don't even know them. You don't even know them. And guess what? You probably never ever will know them. Bro, you know some. God has allowed you to meet some. But there's so many individuals beyond outside of North Carolina, throughout this entire nation, that know you, that you don't even know. All because you pushed. All because you pushed the envelope. You went beyond what people would say. You didn't care what they said. You went beyond that. You went beyond that. That's what you did. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for doing that. You allowed us in your home. You had other things that you could be doing. You rearranged the schedule. That's what you did. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate you so much. Now, give us the blueprint on being successful.
Wow.
Because we want to know, right? That's right.
Well, first I have to tell you really what happened to me.
Yes, sir.
In the early beginning.
Yes, sir.
First, I was labeled mentally retarded. They told my mother, Clara, I won't be anybody. They 11 kids in the family. And they would always say, that boy Joe you got will never be anybody. And Mama said to me, fool 'em. But the thing that really got me going was an early age, 17, when this smart boy took my girlfriend. That was the beginning of my career.
No way.
Absolutely.
No way. Come on, Mr. Dudley now.
So she says to me one day, they said I'll be married before I was 17 years old, which was okay with me. I was excited. I was in love. And she came to me one day after we had dated for 2 years, almost to 23 months. She said, Joe, I want to get married. But I was so happy, I didn't know what to do. I was just happy. And she says, but I want smart kids, and you're retarded. Oh my God. That was a shock to me. But I didn't think there was nothing in between us. But this smart boy was helping her get her homework. I couldn't even get my own homework. So I couldn't help her. So I said, I bet you it's not so-and-so, which is the smart boy.
Right.
She said, yes, it is. She said, look, I want smart kids, and you're retarded. That was the day I went home after school, and I sit back and started thinking. First, I was angry, because I guess if I could have caught that boy.
Did you go see him? You go talk to him?
No, I didn't. I couldn't find him. I didn't look that hard. But I made up my mind that day I was going to be somebody. And nothing could ever take that away from me. So I said, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put something in my head. I'm going to learn like I had never before. I went all the way back to first grade book. I studied second, third, fourth, all the way up to 10th grade. I became a pretty good student. I was the bottom of my class. My sister was in the same class I was. She's 2 years younger than I am. And she was the top of the class, and I was at the bottom of the class. That was frustrating to have you baby your sister.
Right.
In the same classroom with you. But I decided that I was going to do something. I went on, and I became a pretty good student. And that's really what got me really started. Plus, my mother said to me, Joe, it's an advantage to be slow. It's an advantage to be young. It's an advantage to be old. But you have to take your advantage and make something out of the advantage. So don't worry about it. Yes, you're slow. You know you're slow. Your friends know you're slow. Everybody knows you're slow. But don't worry about that.
Right.
Slow people can rule the world because all they have to do is have patience. Because when a slow one get it, they got it. So that was a point for me. And there was other things, but nothing was bigger than that. And thank God it started out at a young age. So I always go back and remember that smart boy took my girlfriend away from me.
Now, I noticed a lot of people looking at this, they had to ask the question. All right, when you started being successful and things like that, did she ever try to get back at you or anything like that?
Oh no. I found her after 50 years.
Is that right?
And I went to see her. And I wanted to see her to thank her.
Wow. Powerful.
She changed my life.
Powerful.
It wasn't a bad thing.
Right.
Because if I had kept going the way I was going, because all my buddies were drunks, and we made moonshine. All that was, after she left me, I took a whole different look at my life. So I gave her some money, and I was excited to see her. Just because of what she did for me.
Right. That one moment in time, that one thing.
And people have to understand, every disadvantage, there's a seed equivalent advantage, but you got to look for it. You know, it's advantage to be young, as I said, old, tall, short, but you got to find that advantage. You got to look for it. And I have been too busy to get disappointed over most things. Because I had vehicles. I had first this book, Think and Grow Rich. I read this 300 times. This one book, I read it. And every time I got disappointed in something, I had something I could do. I grabbed this book. To me, this is the business Bible.
Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill.
By Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. I have given this and sold this to so many people. Everywhere I go, somebody come and say, you know, Dudley, you remember I got that book, Think and Grow Rich, from you. It's changed my life. I'm where I am today because of what you pointed out to me to be. And I hope the audience would understand the power in this book. As I tell people, reading people are ruling people. And the first person you rule is yourself. Yeah. A lot of people talk about my products that I made. And I did. I made my products in the kitchen. I didn't have no money. But I wanted to be. And the formulation, I went to the library, and I learned early that anything that you want was in the library. Now it's on the internet, and you can do it quick.
Exactly.
So I don't care what it is you want to do, so that's what I did. I went and I found formulation, and I found them, and I didn't have money, so I went to the beauty salon and got their old containers. And I washed them out. My wife would type the labels, and the kids would pack it at nighttime. And I made it at nighttime and sold it by the day. Now, the cosmetologists have helped me to really become known all over the world. We're in 18 different countries. Now, this is why, again, I wrote this book for the hair professionals and other people too. How to make $100,000 a year with $10 roller set. So, so I'm working and I'm teaching them all over. We have classes and business people I work with, showing them how to build their business, how to hire right, and how to make things happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I go to one of them classes?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I'm gonna ask. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and John Ray have interviewed so many people from all over the world that come to our class. It's an awesome opportunity for people to understand. Because what really got me going, when I was about 12 years old, to give you this, how this worked, 14 of us lived in a 3-room shack. 9 slept in one room.
9 slept
Nine.
in one room.
Yeah. We even slept outdoors. But the biggest thing, that was a lot of flies. This has been years ago. Flies everywhere. And on Sunday morning at 9:15, my grandfather, which I got a picture of him being 112 years old.
Yes.
I showed you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every Sunday about 9:15, we all would get on our knees and pray, except 2. 2 would be fanning the flies, keep the flies from lighting on the food.
Wow.
Because if flies fell in the food, you didn't throw the food away. You took the fly out of that food. But right now, if a fly comes close by anything you throw the whole stuff out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Granddad would pray, Lord, help the sick, and go to the White House and help the congressmen, the senators, and the president. And I would pray, Lord, come down to this black house and help get some of these flies out of this house. So, now, Lord, if you help me, I will spend the rest of my life helping other people.
Mr. Dudley.
And this is what have driven me to be able to do that. As John said about sales, I'm excited about the sales business. Because, again, I wish it was different, but I'm the only African American that have ever been inducted in the Hall of Fame for direct sales. Mary Kay and all that.
Really?
Only one. There's about 50 of us. And then I'm a Horatio Alger, and they select 10 every year, and they got 600, and I'm one of those.
Really?
So all that have been opportunity for me to help other people, and that's what have driven me to being able to do that, and to get Miss Rose and John Smith. We call him John Ray, but his name is John Smith.
Okay.
That's his television name.
John, okay.
But to see people like that people come to me and just talk about what you've done for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mr. Dudley, You said that you started. You said you started out. You used to make the formulation at night.
Yeah.
You know, how did you come up with the idea of it being hair products?
That's all I've done. Maybe I should come back and begin it of my business and sales. First thing, I couldn't find a job. And one day I saw a guy on the street selling products, hair products, and beauty products.
Okay.
And I asked him, how could I do that?
Okay.
And he said, you can get started with $10. That's how I got started with $10.
Okay.
And I got a little kit. And I started going to house to sell the product. So I got into the product business. And after I had sold for 10 years, that's how I paid my way through college. I was in the business. And at that time, I couldn't find a job. So I had to make my own job. And that was the beginning of me selling these hair care products from house to house. Started in Brooklyn, New York. And I did very good. Really, when I look at it, it was very good. I made enough money to get in college that year.
Yes,
so that was the beginning of me in the hair care business. And I stayed in the hair care business until now. But I was, Mr. Fuller ran out of products, and I was selling products. He didn't have enough products for me to sell.
Really?
And he was having difficulty, so I started making product, still selling Fuller product. Eventually bought the company and kept on and still selling the products now. So I didn't quit Fuller product. I kept right on.
You kept right on.
Yeah. And we worked with him. After then, I became president of Fuller Products. When I moved to Chicago. So that's a little bit of how I got into the hair care business.
Right. Now, back then, were you all the only African American hair care product company that existed back then?
No, it was a lot more.
There's a lot more? Really?
A lot more, far more than what they are today.
Really?
A lot more.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what distinguished you all from everybody else to be so successful?
I think we use the Fuller philosophy and how Fuller product sold their products from door to door, and I sold product directly to the cosmetologist, and I would not put my products in the stores.
Oh.
It was for the hairdresser to build their business.
That's a different way of thinking. That's a real different way of thinking. So, what was your thought process by doing that? Is it to make your product exclusive, or you know what I'm saying, so that the regular consumer just couldn't purchase it directly, so they had to go to the hairdresser that had Dudley products?
Well, the main reason was we wanted the hairdresser to build their business. Again, the hairdresser was a good foundation for me to get started.
Right. It makes sense.
And it was a good niche for us, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so I wanted them to build their business just with all my energy level. Because I believe that, well, I know the hairdresser is the largest, and barbers the largest black business that we have, coming together. More our people in the hair business than in the other. So we wanted not just to build a business, but we wanted to be able to help. And the hairdressers were the people that we wanted to help. And we have helped a lot of them. We still, it's focused, again, my whole family's involved in some way in the hair business.
Right. Because I can tell you now, I can go to numerous different hair salons and see the Dudley Hair Products, the sticker and everything, on the window and everything. And that's an amazing story. And I know you just telling us just some of it, just a little inkling of it. But that's amazing how, I don't know, as when you said that there were other African American companies out there at that time, you would think at that time it would be kind of difficult to for us at that time to get a business started and to be able to be in that type of industry. And so for back then, for it to be more than it is today, just to pick your brain, why do you think now is it that we don't have many African American hair products, companies that are in existence today than versus back then?
Well, the same reason today that we don't have shoe stores, shoe manufacturer. Times have changed, and it's different today. It's not just the hair business,
right?
But if I ask you to take all the clothes that you didn't buy from your race, and everybody here, it'd be a nudist camp.
Right.
So it's not just the hair business. It's happening. Black are not into business, and that's why I really push to really help to get them involved.
Mr. Dudley, you're exactly right. I think that sometimes we get comfortable. I don't know if that's the right word now, but sometimes I think that we get comfortable and not even thinking that we can own, or not even thinking that we can be successful, not even thinking that that we can live better than the way we live now, wherever, and I know that success sometimes is different in how we explain it, different in different with different people. But with you, you had your family, you had your kids helping you out all at the same time, and I'm pretty sure that's all that they know that coming up was hair products. Daddy started. Daddy's going to be making something tonight. We got packed tonight. Do our homework, or whatever. We got packed, eat, pack, or whatever. I'm pretty sure you had a system going on every single night in which trying to build the business. So what did you tell them to help them keep going? Because I know at the same time, you being the father, you being the head of the household, you had to keep yourself up. So what did you do to help them keep them going? Every night, and get them motivated to do that.
Well, I think they saw what we were doing. They just jumped in. I mean, they was excited about it because we was excited. And I mean, just like today, all my kids are involved in business. My son has written books and doing other things with all that right to the hairdresser.
Right.
He's helping the hairdresser. He's changing there. My daughter runs a major part of the company.
Right.
My younger daughter, she has 95 employees, and she told me, well, I helped her, but she only worked 4 hours a week. Plus, she teaches A&T, and she's doing some other things.
Wow.
So again, I think about the girl said she wants smart kids, but I asked her when I met her 50 years ago, you got any smart kids? She couldn't say anything.
Wow.
But I had to rub that one in a little bit. I got some smart kids.
You look back on it now. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I knew you had to come up with something.
Now, we have these books right here. Now, I have this book right here. I am, I can, and I will walking by faith.
Yeah.
What is,
I'm just really excited about this book. This is a lot of my life in the book. But the thing is that it has just changed so many people's lives. I am so amazed at what this done. People come to me. I mean, they get the book today. One lady, just last week, well, 2 ladies, she called me up, said, I had your book for 3 years, and I read this book. My business is growing. It's different. The guy was in prison that read this book. He's a multi-millionaire now. The Ebony wrote about him. But this book has really changed his life. And thanks to John Ray and Dr. Bailey and my son and my kids, some got involved. But this has really made a difference in their lives. So walking by faith. I am, I can, and I will.
Wow.
So we've sold we've printed over 70,000 of these books.
Wow.
And we never put it in the bookstore. So somebody asked me why. I wanted this book for kids like they want to go on a trip. We had a lady want a house, John. We would sit down there, right down there at the lake and talk to her. She said, I don't want nobody to give me no money. Got 100 books. She got $1,000. She got $10 a book. And she was $1,000. One kid needed to go to Africa. It cost $3,000 for a school project. Her mother got 300 books, and she got $3,000.
Really?
So this is why the book, business, churches, and all that. This is exciting.
Now we have a DVD right here.
Yeah, we got a lot of these again, and thanks, John. How to not to raise a fool.
How to not
to raise a fool.
Not to raise a fool.
How to change your foolish ways. And as I teach them, and on here, how long, ye simple one, will love simplicity, and a scholar delight in their scholar, and a fool hate knowledge. How long? And this have changed a lot of people thinking.
Right.
Yeah, how long? And that really makes a difference in their lives.
Thank you. Wow. And you know what? And you're exactly right. The way we think can dictate so many things in our lives.
Oh yeah.
Right. You're so right. Let's see here. And we have here, Millionaire Awaken Your Secret.
Okay. This is a book I did with 13 other millionaires. We really taught down in Malaysia and Japan with this book here. I'm in about halfway of it, but it really is a tape that I think everybody should get having an idea of being successful. And successful is not necessarily being a millionaire.
Right,
successful
right, exactly.
Whatever you doing, that you can find great joy cooking cakes and doing that. Whatever it is, can make a tremendous difference. You know, a lot of people got 3 or 4 television in their house, but they don't have a library. I got a library of business books, and I just bought books for to get people. So I bought them and I sell them for them to have a business, a library in their house.
Mr. Dudley, my wife told me the other day, Donna, if you buy another book, because I bought one book, Dr. Ray, he had me buy. Dr. Ray, when I first saw him, Dr. Ray, when I talked to him on the phone, he told me to buy this book. The first time him and I talking over years, and I was trying to get it, and I told him who it was and all that. But before I got off the phone, Dr. Ray told me, get this book. Right off the bat, and I bought it the next day. I sure did. I bought it the next day, and as a matter of fact, it's beside my TV, and it's so amazing. You're right. If you go in a person's house, they do have a lot of TVs and things like that, flat screen now and all that, you know, but not a library. You're exactly right, and that's very profound. You're exactly right. Wouldn't even thought about that, but she told me that the other day, because I just think that I may not read all of the book, but it just seems like you know, there's a time, whenever that time comes, you know where that book is at, and you can go get it. And because right now I'm still reading on that thick book Dr. Ray got me reading right now, and but hopefully when I'm done with that, if you don't mind, I would like to read that Think and Grow Rich. That's gonna be my next book that I read. And yeah, that's gonna be my next book that I'm gonna read. And if you don't mind, I would like to share that book with some of the businesses, some of my clients now that I have. I haven't read the book, But just by you suggesting it, that's what we're going to do. So Think and Grow Rich, okay?
Grow rich and walking by faith.
Walking by faith. Okay, and walking by faith.
This has made nowhere near the millionaires, but this has really been successful. And the first thing I did when my old daughter finished Harvard Law School, she was classmate of President Obama. They were in law school together. So when Ursa finished law school, she came to me and she said, "Dad, I want to run a $1 million business. So what should I do?" I said, "Take the Think and Grow Rich book, read it for 6 hours every week for 6 months." She did it for 9 months, and she read it from 6 o'clock on Monday to 12 o'clock at night. Every week she did that, and she ran a $1 million, several $1 million business. So the opportunity, the reading, and the way you read this book, you get your notebook, you write down what you're reading it for, what you're looking for in a self-help book. Don't just read it. Write it down. Now, what you're reading it for. When the idea comes to you, you write down the idea. Don't write down what the book said or what I said. Write down the idea. You want to learn how to get your goal. You're reading it for a purpose.
Wow.
Yeah. But someone just said, "I didn't read this book." No. Read it with a purpose. You're looking for something. How do you do this? How do you make that happen?
Right. This is like really, really good here. This is really, really good. Really, really good. So Mr. Dudley, I'm sorry. You beside me now, so I'm gonna ask. Mr. Dudley, did you have many friends coming up?
Coming up, I have 5 or 6 friends in high school.
Okay.
But in building a business, I didn't have a lot of friends. I had a lot of people associated with.
Exactly.
But I didn't have buddy where we go to a ball game or where we did this. I didn't have that. Yeah.
Right.
But I was excited over teaching and working with other people. I think the mistake that people make is the people they associate with. Association is a real problem. If you working with success, you got to be around successful people. And then the other thing I tell you, got to be, if you're the smartest person in your group, leave that group. There's nothing that you can learn from that.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Wherever you go, you want to be able to learn something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The main reason why I asked you that question is because 2 days ago, one thing about me, Mr. Dudley, anybody that's watching, I'm very transparent, okay? Because I always want people to understand and know that that sometimes we meet people and we don't know if we can trust them. We don't know if they're coming at you with an angle or whatever, And so I always want to for myself, I always want to set the atmosphere for anybody, to let them know that, when they're around me, that they can be themselves. And there is nothing that you want. If there's something I want, I would ask you, okay? But I'm not going to come backdoor you or anything like that, for anything like that. So anyway, 2 days ago, I had a one-on-one with myself, and I said that I had associates, that they were doing things, going to the basketball games with them, things like that, and they didn't invite me, and I asked them, and I asked myself, I said, man, what's wrong with me? Why is it that nobody's calling, ringing my phone to ask me, well, Donnell, do you want to go to the Bobcats game? Donnell, do you want to go to the gym? And I asked myself that, Mr. Dudley, And I was serious, man, because I was like, man, am I doing something? Am I doing something that's being a negative or something like that? And I was serious, Mr. Dudley, and I couldn't figure it out. And then a friend of mine called me about an hour later, and I said, man, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. Why people don't want to call me or whatever. And he said, you know what, Donnell, you're a different breed. You don't, and he was telling me this. He said, Donnell, you're a different breed, man. Sometimes, man, you got to understand that, and back to what you said, that those individuals, man, they not on your level. It's not that you're trying to be better than anybody. It's just that you're not on their level. Actually, they're not on your level. And so, what you do, I'm 24/7, Mr. Dudley. I like to learn. I don't turn myself on and turn myself off. The way you see me today is the exact same way you see me at Margaret Lane's bakery or at the mall or anything like that. So I'm the same person all the time. And so I'm glad you said that, because that's the main reason why I asked you that, is because I know there are other individuals that are looking at this that are just like me, that don't have a lot of people that they can just call up and just say, hey, what's going on? Let's go out to eat somewhere. Let's go to the mall and eat some Chinese food or something like that. I don't have it like that. So will I ever have it like that, Mr. Dudley? I don't know. But I just know that right now I don't have it like that. And
that's good, because you're moving out of that level, and you keep moving. And you'll find a day that's not necessary for you to have. I have friends that I may not talk to in 2 or 3 years. I got those kind of friends. But if I need something,
right,
I can pick up the telephone and call them, and they will be there. And same thing with me. So you're going to continue to get friends, but you get friends because people respect. They don't need to be somebody that you talk
right
to every day, every month, or every
gotcha.
year.
Gotcha.
So I got friends like that, friends that have a lot of admiration for you. I think that's the most important thing. You have to keep growing yourself. That's what I call growing yourself, looking at yourself, making a decision about yourself. The question that we always ask, what do you want? Number 1. Number 2, why do you want it? Number 3, write it down. What do you want? Why you want it? And write it down. So that's, really what you do. So, this journey is an exciting journey if you make it exciting. If you got a goal that sometimes you have to, when I first started building the business, I do it now, I was saying to my wife, look, I'm going to be in service for 5 or 6 weeks. I'm not mad about anything with you, because I'll be different. I haven't learned how to really handle just being driving myself. But I tell her 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, so that she knows
Yes.
that I'm going to put everything that I have in it. And I may not be as nice to you as you think I should be. You think I'm ignoring you, but my mind is focused, and I do it for 6 weeks. But after that 6 weeks, I'm gonna do something very special.
A vacation or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something that's. But I don't come and just do it. I take my time and say, look, I tell her, and 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time. So after you did it one time, they understand, and then you're being able to grow. Because sometimes you just have to really drive yourself, and to reach your first, you deal with your conscious mind. and then your subconscious mind, and then the universal subconscious mind. So you have to really make an impression on your subconscious mind.
You're deep, you know that, Mr. Dudley.
Yeah.
You're deep, you know
Yeah.
that, right? Okay.
And then your subconscious mind
My God.
reach out to the universal subconscious mind and deliver to you what you ask for. Okay, but you cannot reach that by just sitting down and not making an impression on your subconscious mind. See, and most of us are not aware of our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind, that you feeling, you can feel, but subconscious mind never sleeps. It's working. It knows everything, and it can go back to you when you was 2 years old, 3 years old, and take you all the way back there, and they can hypnotize you and pull up all that and tell you more than you conscious know of yourself. You have no idea what it knows. So that's what we, again, have to work with, and that's why I do with some of the people that I'm working with, because they never even thought of it. Some have never heard of it, you know.
Right.
And so you have to work with that, because if you ask, it will be given to you. If you seek, you find. If you knock, the door will be open to you. So you really have to really do some serious work and some serious understanding to get you where you want to get to. Okay, so, and that's important. Now the other thing too, in the business, anything you're doing, if you don't use what you have acquired, just acquiring information, that's half of it. The other one, you must be able to use what you already have and work with that. So that's really how you have to work. And I think, you know, I think that you have to really make that happen.
You know, you just taught us management 101, 100 to 105. You really did. You really have. It is wow. Now, what I'm going to do now, I was just thinking as you were talking. I don't even want to wait to just get edited and anything like that. I want to run it back so I can write down, because you told us a lot of information in this interview. A lot of information.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr.